Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I'm just out here having a nose round really. It's a non-watering day. I haven't got anything to water today. Boring. But this monster up the back here, it's a Kingianum type hybrid. No ID. Not my favourite type of plant, but really this year it's just excelled itself as far as the size and number of canes. It's still producing them. I mean, there's another new cane coming here. These are new canes. I mean, this is one that's just, I got a feeling that one got knocked because the top's slightly kinked. There's another kiki there. I've taken quite a few kikis off of this and potted them up separately. They're all coming on. But because I ignore this plant, I mean, I throw some water on it now and again, but that's about it. It doesn't need any care or anything. It tends to be bug-free, even though I'm not bug-free in the whole greenhouse, but it does tend to stay bug-free. And the last few of the spider mite damaged leaves that were done before I got it, mind you, they're not my spider mites, but you know, they've left that horrible silvery tinge on some of the leaves. You can see it there, and blotchy as well, and that's the size of the canes when I got it. So those are the oldest canes, and they do gradually drop their leaves, so eventually all of those manky leaves will be gone. But just looking round, that cane up the back's got a spike. That one's got a spike. That one's got a spike. That one right at the front, that's got a spike. That one's in flower. Strange spike, that one. Only one bloom and the rest of the spike blasted. I haven't known a whole spike blast before, only buds. That looks like probably the two spikes or two new kikis. Time will tell. There's a spike on that one. Possible kiki on that one, never know, and a spike up the back there. So this has got, oh, and a spike down there by the fan. So, you know, there's a spike on most of the canes at the moment. So it's doing well, yeah? And this one's just been brought out to play. This is Dendrobium harveyanum, and it is going to bloom soon, although from the time the buds form to the times they open does actually take a little while. It's a bit out of season, that one, but bearing in mind it bloomed for 6 months from the start of the year to halfway through the year, and now it's going to have another go. Is that next year's ones early or just a late flush? Who knows? Dendrobiums just do their own thing. What I really wanted this video to be about is YouTube and Google+. Unfortunately, whether we like it or not, Google took over management of YouTube and ownership, and as a consequence has tried to bring it all together. That is their way. You know, they try to own the world. One day we'll wake up in Google land and we'll have Google tokens to go and shop in Google shops, and we'll live in Google houses. Google, you know, in the internet world basically owns the place, and whether we like it or not, that's how it is. Now, what sparked this off is I'm about to do my 1,000 subscriber draw again. I'm not going to do it today because this was the finite date for the previous winner to get in touch, which they still haven't done. So I'll video the draw tomorrow. That leaves it as long as I possibly can. So anybody who didn't get in on the draw before, I will go through the names again on the original video and check that I've got all the names. So anyone who snuck in actually gets in the draw, because I will double check. Who knows, I may have missed one last time, so I've got to do that anyway. And I'll do the draw again tomorrow. And this time I'm going to be more sensible, because instead of just drawing a winner, I'll draw a winner, put it to one side, draw another one, put it to one side, and draw a third one and put it to one side. That way, if the winner doesn't get in touch in a predetermined time, it goes to the next one. And again, on to the third one. I've got to get rid of one of these plants. It's just got to be done. We're coming up to a mild patch in the weather that's going to last a while. Now is going to be a perfect time to post an orchid. So I want to get this done. So that's how it's going to be. Roger has decided. Back to YouTube and Google. When Google take over the world, they mess things up. Lots of settings and things on YouTube have gone wrong. Mistakes have been made. We've just got to live with that. You can't do anything about it unless you own Google, and we don't. We have to live within it. So, private messaging, right? Google have taken over. If you don't have a Google Plus account linked directly to your channel, you can't do private messages. That's just how they've done it. Okay, so it's a big deal. Now, a little bit of advice: if you set up a very, very basic, what I call primitive YouTube account in the old days, where you didn't have to have a Google account to go with it, you won't be able to do private messages. You will only do the basic functions, which allows you to put some comments on other people's videos, and that may be fine, but that is its very basic function. If you've got a channel like that, and that's all you've ever used it for, you haven't put pretty pictures on it, you haven't uploaded any videos, quite honestly, the best way to move forward and take advantage of all the functionality that's available, and there is a lot, it opens up a new world, is to basically scrap that account. And the easiest way that I've found to go about it is to just get your browser up, which I assume you're using Google, because all the other browsers are fading into insignificance, quite honestly. They just haven't got the functionality. You know, it's like the difference between Betamax and the other type of video that, one of them won and one of them didn't. And that's just the way it's gone. Google have won. And it is the best browser, quite honestly. You'll get more answers to a Google search than you will anywhere else, let's put it that way. So especially when you're trying to look up stuff about orchids, you get the right answers if you use Google, and you get a lot more of them. So if you just go into your browser, don't sign into anything, go in like blind as though you're just a viewer, a visitor, and then up in your banner heading, stick in plus.google.com, I think it is, but it needs the plus on it. And basically it'll enable you to set up a Google Plus account. You'll have to think up a new email name. It gives you the last half of it, at google.com. All you've got to do is put a bit on the front that somewhere in the world somebody hasn't used before. It's not as easy as it sounds, because I've just tried it. I had to make up a right convoluted name. But that will set you up a Google Plus account with an associated email address. That gets you up and running. There are some account settings you might need to look at, one of which is who you can talk to. So you need to go into the people bit once you've created your account, and I think it defaults to your circles. You'll see these headings when you get in there. It's not difficult to find your way around. You don't need to do much else, just a basic account. And then somewhere up in the heading you get a little square made up of tiny little squares. Now what that icon's called, I haven't got a flipping clue. But if you click on that, it gives you pictures of all the different Google apps that you're entitled to use, and one of those is a red square with a white arrow on it. That's the standard sign for YouTube. If you click on that, it'll invite you to create a YouTube channel, and it'll do it for you and link everything in. There couldn't be an easier way, and then everything will be up and running, and it'll all work because you've sort of started from scratch. Now, if you've got an advanced YouTube channel that you've been using for years and years, that's not a good idea. But somewhere or another, there must be a way of setting up a Google Plus account if you haven't got one, and then going into your existing YouTube channel and linking into that Google Plus account. You might have to do it the other way around and sign on to Google Plus and then go and find your YouTube channel. But there should be a way of linking them together. You shouldn't have to start your YouTube channel from scratch. So that's a little bit of chat about Google and YouTube, and whether we like it or not, Google practically owns the internet world nowadays, and I don't like it. I like choices. I like to make my own choices, but I'm going to run with what appears to be the best. And I had a lot of trouble. It was literally not Danny's YouTube channel, but Danny's actual website, you know, where she's got all her advisory stuff and where there's forums and all the normal sort of stuff like that. I had a hell of a job getting into that, and it was purely because I didn't have a Google Plus account. As soon as I got that sorted out, I was in, basically. So that seems to be the way forward, whether we like it or not. So just a bit of advice about the fundamentally bog standard, absolutely basic YouTube channel that's never really been used for anything, has got no real content or anything like that. If you set up a brand new Google Plus account, it's not difficult, trust me, it really isn't difficult. And then once you've done that, find that icon and create a new YouTube channel. Once you've got that, you can start tarting it up. You can start putting your own pictures in. You can get your own banner heading instead of the bland one that they actually give you, but at least they give you one. And that's how I spot all of those channels, because they haven't had any work done on them. They've just been set up in their basic form. So there we go. And as far as this drawer is concerned, I'll make the video tomorrow. It's going to be short and sweet. There won't be a proper hat. Sorry, John. It's just life. I had to give it back. And I'll get it done, and then we can get the orchid posted off. Okay? Thanks for dropping by, and have a think about your YouTube channel and what you really use it for, and is it linked into a Google Plus account? Because if it's not, there's functionality that you haven't got access to. Now, you might not even know that functionality is there, and what you've never used you don't miss. But one day you might want to, and then you struggle. Yeah? It can make life flipping difficult. I mean, I found out that, you know, there's many YouTube channels that are my subscribers, and I can't send them a message, and it's because of the way their channel's set up, not mine. Mine's got all the functionality that is available that I want to allow to be public. Don't forget, you always get the choices with privacy and who can see what. It's all there, it's all in the settings. So if you haven't done it already, go and have a play. And as I said, if you've got a basic channel, it might be worth just scrapping that channel and starting again and load up all that functionality. There's some good stuff in there that really is useful. And apart from that, you know, well, we've got a load of spikes coming on this. I'm looking forward to them, even though, I mean, you can see it's not the most glorious bloom. It's pretty tiny, and it is fragrant, but unfortunately, with the competition of that, and that poor little thing don't get a look in. But when it's the only thing in bloom, it does waft its scent around, but it needs more than one. It needs a load of these spikes to come out together with a few more blooms than just one on them. You can usually tell what sort of spike you're going to get. Where's a good one to pick on? That one's too young. See this one up the back? You can see the forming buds right at the tip. You can also see that there's at least 4 there once it gets going. And this one again over here, you can see the tiny little buds forming. So you can see that that's going to have quite a few, as long as it doesn't do silly things like that and drop the top half of the spike. Daft thing. Anyway, just a quickie, and I'll see you all in the drawer sometime probably tomorrow morning, because I want to get it done and take advantage of the good weather to actually get an orchid in the post and standing a chance of coming out the other end without being a block of ice, which is what would have happened over the last few days. Okay, see you again soon. Thanks for dropping by. And yes, the new music is going to stay. I like it. Whose channel is it after all? See you again tomorrow. Bye for now.